You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to American Sports Talk with Andy and Ari.
Good evening, American sports fans and fans of American sports. My name is Andy Gershman. I am once again alongside my friend and co-host, Ari Lewis. How you doing, Ari?
I am doing stupendous.
Doing stupendous as usual. Well, Ari, it's not often we do this, but we're going to open our show, and there's plenty to talk about with MLB and Gold Gloves and NBA and all that kind of good stuff going on. But we're going to open our show with a very special guest right off the bat.
Absolutely. It's an absolute honor to have this gentleman on. This gentleman is the jack of all trades. He's done political talk show, local talk show work in Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm from, and national talk show as well with Fox Sports. So it's a real honor. We're very, very happy to have this gentleman on, and that, of course, is the great Bruce Jacobs.
Fellas, how are you? Listen, you certainly you way overplay my hand on that, okay? But I appreciate the kind words.
Absolutely.
It's nowhere near that, but it's all good. Thank you.
No, it's definitely our pleasure. There's so many places to begin, but I'll tell you what, since we're both two Arizona guys, I guess we have to do this. Let's talk about Sunday night. Here in Israel, I stayed up late, watched the game. It goes to the third quarter. Cardinals are up 21-10. Brett Favre leaves a drive down to the almost to the goal line, throws an interception. His own crowd boos him. I go to sleep thinking this thing's in the bag. I wake up, find out Favre throws 500 yards. Bruce, what happened, man? Tell me.
Well, if you're a Cardinal fan and you go to bed, that's your first mistake. You never turn off a Cardinal game, okay, ever, because you're likely to see something. I saw this stat. You'll love this. Are you into football stats?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I got a good one for you. This is how wacky the Cardinals are. The Cardinals have scored 11 touchdowns this year via the pass or the run. They've scored 8 touchdowns via kick return or a turnover return, fumble or interception. That's how wacky, okay, the Cardinals are. You never, ever, ever turn off a Cardinal game. Having said that, the great Brett Favre, had one of those moments that I'm a Favre apologist. In fact, right now, I'm sitting at my desk in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a lovely 70 degrees. My 3 dogs are tanning themselves outside. And I am wearing my Jets Brett shirt, okay,
wow.
as we speak right now, as I'm at my desk. And I'm not embellishing whatsoever. So, Favre is just, that's why he's the best, because he's so fascinating. You just never know what you're going to get, and then and there's so many people who hate him because of that, and I just love it. I love the unpredictability and the swashbuckling Brett Favre. He's phenomenal. So he was phenomenal those last 5 minutes and overtime. It was quite the collapse by the Cardinals.
This is Andy Gershman. How you doing, Bruce?
Good. How are you, Eddie?
Going well. Let me ask you, because my beloved Cowboys, speaking of great Sundays...
Let's go to Ari. Let's go back to Ari.
So
you don't want to ask any questions on it. All right, go ahead. What do you want me to say?
My question is, do you think the debacle in Dallas is overshadowed two important things? One, obviously, Ari just mentioned Brett Favre's performance, and two, the fact that a Michael Vick-led team beat a Peyton Manning-led team. It kind of got overshadowed by that 45-7 or whatever the final score was there.
Well, if you root for America's team, then, you got to take the good with the bad. And gosh, I'll tell you what, it's, that Sunday night, did you see that Sunday night game?
Well, it's at 3 in the morning here, and I just had an inkling that wasn't going to go well and wasn't worth staying up for, so I saved myself.
Fascinating. When the one time I traveled to Europe, you bring your laptop, and there I am, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was, watching NFL football, on a computer, and man, strange. So,
it is.
Listen, you didn't miss anything. Ari missed an unbelievable finish. Okay. Honestly, what time does the game start in Israel?
It was 8 p.m., right?
Yeah. So
8 p.m. in the east, so 8 or 9. So it starts at about 3 in the morning.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
okay. Well, you could have gone to bed at 3:30 and been cool.
Hey, it was
the game was over, and the pile-on had begun.
It was a scoreless first quarter.
Like I said, the game was over, and then the pile-on began. And it was
wow.
Boy, it was unbelievable, man. I mean, you could. The broadcaster was actually. It's very rare when you get a broadcaster who will absolutely just fillet a team for lack of effort. But Chris Collinsworth, who does the games
right
with Al Michaels on Sunday nights, man, he was just killing. The funniest thing from this game is Michael Jenkins, a defensive back for the Cowboys.
Right.
A Packer, and I think it was Kuhn. I'm not exactly positive. He was running for a touchdown. He was like 7 yards from the goal line, and Jenkins was standing there, and he had to split second decide: do I make a move to try to get this guy, or do I just give him the old Ole defense? Okay, he let him score, and Collinsworth is ripping this guy. Okay, they come back from commercial, and the camera's showing Jenkins, and he thinks the camera's on him so he can say hello to his mother and everything. And the camera's on him because he's getting hammered by the broadcaster, and it was great. It was great.
Yeah, that's because
the Cowboys are horrible.
Oh, they are horrible, and they're not going to get any better with Jason Garrett, that's for sure. I mean, he's been calling these plays, if I'm not mistaken.
It's bad. It's bad, yeah.
All right, so sticking with your Jets, they win in dominating fashion, of course, against the Lions, the great Lions team in Detroit. So 6 and 2. LT coming out of nowhere.
You sound a little envious there, brother. You sound a little envious. You know, we're 6 and 2, and you're 1 and 7. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I mean, it's only 5 more wins, but basically, but basically, LT looked like he retired about a year ago, and he comes out of nowhere. Partly he got healed up, but now I know you're a bit of a Jets homer, but how far can the Jets realistically go? I mean, do you really think this is a Super Bowl team that Coach Rex Ryan has?
I do, and listen, I am a homer. I'm a huge, but I like to think I have some objectivity, and I love this team. I don't think the Jets right now are as good as Pittsburgh and Baltimore, but we're only halfway. They don't have to be as good right now.
True.
What they do have to be is, I think it's critical for the Jets to get home field throughout the postseason in the AFC. So I think we're really good. And let me tell you about LT, because he's just phenomenal. I'm so glad he's a Jet, because I just love that guy. A lot of folks had him on the bucket list. But I got to be honest with you, I predicted he would get 1,200 yards this year, because the Jets run the ball, or they ran it more now than they're doing now, which I want to see them run it more, and they will, than they did in San Diego. They never ran the ball in San Diego. They throw first, and then they throw second, and then they maybe throw third. I mean, that's who they are. So, you know, it's tougher when your offense is a little more predictable. So I love LT. I love this Jet team. I think we have a real chance to win the Super Bowl this year. Yes, I absolutely feel good about this team, but I do not think they're the best team in football right now.
So it looks like LT gets a little bit of advantage that Mark Sanchez kind of sucks, right? I mean, is that what it is?
Hey, he's playing. Look, the team is playing well, and you know what? You could belittle a 3-point win over the Lions. I can tell you how many times the Jets lost those 3-point games to the Lions. Listen, I know. The Jets played the Lions in Bill Parcells' first year here. We were driving for the game-winning touchdown. A win puts us in the postseason. A loss sends us home. And this is Parcells' first year. We were abysmal the year before that, 1-15. And we're driving. We get inside the Lions' 20-yard line, and Parcells calls for a halfback option. I forget who. I should know the guy. He had a long career as a fullback. But anyway, dude gets intercepted. Richie Anderson, that's who it was. Richie Anderson. Wow. He gets intercepted in the end zone. Lions, who stunk as usual, beat us. Sent us home And that was the end of that. So I'll take a 3-point win over the Lions any day of the week.